This ACC College Football Preview Part 2 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
Hey folks, this is Bud Foster. You're listening to SGPN. Let's let it ride. Go Hokies, man.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Cram?
Dog. Hola, Sean.
Hola, indeed.
Yeah, just do that's ACC speak for hello.
Okay.
Yep.
South of the border. Coastal Conference Preview Part 2. Joining us in studio from the College Football Experience, Colby Dant, aka Pick Picasso. What's happening, Colby?
Oh yeah, I'm
what is that? Are you Stallone?
Stallone?
No, I'm excited too.
Is this a Bill Belichick?
Coach, my dad coached here, and I'm excited. Another opportunity, and coaching's fine. Don't ask me questions about my girlfriend.
Jordan. Yeah, I mean,
should we talk about it?
Sure. I think we have to. It's kind of funny because Bill Belichick, always known as a guy who no off the field distractions. Don't let any of that media shit leak into the locker room, impact things. And the biggest story from UNC football has been Bill Belichick's girlfriend, the ring camera, how did they meet, their personal life.
I would even say like everything is just insane. Like, North Carolina traditionally hires like kind of
buttoned up,
kind of pretty boy coaches. You know what I mean? Like
guys are like
guys
Coach K, like the Garden.
Club. Yeah, like
like your buddies down at the club. You know, the white shoe lawyers.
Yeah. And then they go out
all
and
the
hire
ducks
Belichick.
in a row. And that's what they thought. Did they know about the girlfriend?
You got to try. But we got to try this new 56 degree. You'll love it. Making a golf joke. They obviously knew.
Yeah.
I think in hindsight, that's why we had all these weird opt-outs, right?
Well, you had Michael Jordan cut them a big check, I believe. Might have been Jordan's call.
Jordan doesn't give a shit about it.
Well, Jordan was like, "Yeah, Jordan, hey, what's up? I'm Jordan too." No, I think
Jordan.
Well, I think that weird, because his buyout went to nothing, right? After like something strange, like 6 months, and people thought that was a Belichick might want to look at the NFL, but maybe that was the other way around.
Well, do you think there was? I mean, it was kind of weird in some ways that he did not get a NFL job, Ryan. Do you think Jordan and the drama surrounding him impacted his ability to get another job after the NFL? He interviewed in Atlanta. He interviewed 4 NFL jobs.
Couldn't get a second interview from Atlanta.
Couldn't get a second.
Well, we know that in hindsight, we know Robert Kraft might not like Belichick.
Yeah.
The owners obviously talk to each other.
True, but I mean, he won a bunch of Super Bowls. You think?
No, the NFL owners would never. They would never force somebody out. They would never. They're men of high integrity.
What are you trying to say?
He certainly. I mean, you could make a pretty easy case for Bill Belichick over Raheem Morris if you wanted to make that. Now, of course, is it
sure? He brought in Jimmy Lake. That was a nice hire.
Was the Patriots' success more Bill Belichick or Tom Brady? Certainly. Brady has been way more successful than Bill Belichick, highlighting why he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Is he more successful than Belichick?
Oh,
Belichick
yes.
won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants.
Oh, as a coordinator, but
I mean go watch that tape. That offense was not very good.
We also had Lawrence Taylor.
Sure, but I'm just saying that defense was fucking awesome.
But Brady's been successful at every single turn.
Look, I'm not trying to shit on Tom Brady. I'm just saying Belichick has got some medals that hang up from his days before the Patriots.
All right, that's fair. But then since they broke up, Brady has been much more successful.
Sure.
I think I've been thinking about this more. When people make that argument about Tom Brady cherry picking a great situation, going and winning a Super Bowl, which by the way, he was very close to not winning. The Matt Castle year.
If Aaron Rodgers just
how much credit?
If Aaron Rodgers just plays football,
no, I agree. but how much credit does we never? I feel like they don't not enough. Not that I'm defending Belichick here, but not enough is spoken about the Matt Castle year, where they just they lost their quarterback and said, "All right, well, we're just gonna."
Well, that's what's lost in all of it. That's why it's a TMZ take. I get it. Brady's incredible.
They didn't just win a couple games.
Their defense had a bunch of great players, man. Ty Law, Willie McGinnis, Richard Seymour, Junior Seau was on the team when he was still solid before the car crash that caused all that CTE. And then they had a bunch of good guys, man, like Ted Johnson and Greg Beaker and shit, not Beaker, but Ted Johnson and Laura Malloy, and they had a great fucking roster, man.
Well, yeah, and a lot. I mean, they were both obviously good. But,
Vinatieri, the best kicker ever, you could say.
But I would say that coming back to the original question, I do think that the existence of this figure in Belichick's life, comboed with Kraft probably slandering him at any chance he could.
Well, and he probably wanted a lot of. He also wanted roster control, and
Jordan wanted our roster.
Well, that was his weakness. That was really his downfall. Was that his
he
personnel
told Arthur
decisions.
Blank, I got my own GM, by the way.
Well, she's CC'd on the emails and she's running the social media and this book tour.
What's great though is I could see that North Carolina. I could just see them completely blindsided by this because they're probably used to Mac Brown have his nanner pudding out on his
Well, I will say it's like the first commercial story about her crowbarring herself into was it KFC? It was some Pepsi. But
no, there's an underdog.
No, the second one is the underdog.
Well, there was a CBS spotlight too.
Yeah, but the underdog one is the one that they fake shot an entire scene to appease her because she wrote her.
Don't worry, honey, it's coming out.
Yeah, the underdog. If you remember, Bill Belichick was in the underdog fantasy promo code SGPN.
Yes.
And he's
Shout
there.
Out, Cam.
He's there on the phone cleaning his pool, and they're all talking and stuff. And she pitched herself to be in the commercial and hanging out by the pool
as a main character.
And they're like, sure, we'll film that, and they did, and then with no intention of ever using it.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
to fake film something.
That's why.
How horrible of a woman must this be?
He's incredibly pussy whipped. It's something like
How about those photos? By the ocean where he's
the
wearing
mermaid. Yeah, he's pussy whipped. It's stuff that you do in high school where you're just figuring out women for the first time. You're like, yeah, whatever. And he doesn't know how to say no.
So this is the trade. I trade making a fool of myself for what?
It's just so puzzling because he's at North Carolina. You could have told me a bunch of other schools. I think if you had to power rank these, I think North Carolina would be in the bottom 20 that he would go to. I know his dad coached there, but I'm just saying it makes for absolutely just fascinating content.
I mean, again, it's going to end in a glorious way. This woman seems like she's.
You don't think they're just going to get married and live happily ever after?
No. She seems crazy. I mean, the fact that this is her she's 21. That was the other controversy, right? She lied about her age in the up direction. And then, so she's younger than we thought. And she already had a 80-year-old boyfriend. That's a strange type.
She already had an 80-year-old boyfriend.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
No. What happened?
Belichick is her second old man. Remember the guy with the wine reviews?
I don't remember.
Okay. So Pablo Torre, who's making a name on being a journalist who broke the Bill Belichick case.
I thought Picasso.
Yeah. Well, but this guy's name's actually Torre.
Picasso. Pablo Picasso.
So, and basically there was her previous boyfriend.
Okay.
Which maybe there's even more. I didn't do the research myself. Was a wine connoisseur who left thousands of reviews on one of those wine websites, and they were quite thorough. So old man loves wine, cultured. It's just a weird type. And her mom owns a crazy ass sex shop.
So she's just a whore, is what you're saying.
Well, I think if your mom owns a sex shop and you immediately go into like old ass dude, like close to death with money, I think you're probably been training, right? It's no different than you see like the meathead on the block has a kid and he's doing the bench press reps out on the driveway. Like the mom has a sex shop, and when you're 18, you're dating a 70-year-old. There's no one on the planet that is 18 that's like, you know what I need? I need just give me some old man. Give me some old man. No, that doesn't happen. So, but shout out to Belichick. What I want to know is how long had he gone without pussy with the wife? Is that what happened here?
He was must have been a real drought for the Belichick.
But yeah, that's the craziest part about the story is that it's now come out that she was certainly involved when all the way back to the Patriots.
Jordan.
So
Jordan was, you mean?
Yeah.
And supposedly he told her to wear red pants so that when she was showing up on the sideline, he could spot her.
What an old man
thing.
thing.
Training camp.
I can't see so good. Would you mind wearing these red?
Jordan, I don't got my readers when I'm out on the field. Can I wear them sexy red pants so I know what ass I'm looking at? I don't want to slap the wrong ass.
Well, and again, not to.
I accidentally slapped my son's ass because he wore red sweatpants.
Steven,
he had long hair for a little bit.
I might confuse you with my hot piece of ass.
Bill is with Jordan in the bedroom making love, and Steven's in the corner just doing that thing with his lips.
Father, you're doing well.
Oh, where's Josh McDaniels? He's the butler.
Jordan grew up in humble circumstances, the daughter of a fisherman and the curator of a sex toy museum. It's a museum. Oh, it's a sex toy shop.
What do you mean? Well,
museum.
time out. How are you curating?
Where is this located, by the way?
This is the dildo Abraham Lincoln used to fuck Mary Todd. A lot of people don't realize Thomas Jefferson. This is the first wood carved butt plug. Like what?
Well, Thomas Jefferson spent a lot of time in France, so he was into some freaky shit.
Oh yeah. We got to do a field trip next time we're in the.
Where is that? I'm assuming it's just Maine.
They need to excavate Monticello. Find what kind of. Is that what this woman's doing? She's excavating old places to find dildos. What a strange. I was just listening to listening about the people that brought back the dire wolf. Well, these people are looking for ancient dildos. But yeah, imagine your mom's that, and then you immediately start dating a 70-year-old
who's got millions.
No, the one before Belichick.
He doesn't have millions.
Well, I assume you have millions if you've written over 1,000 wine reviews, right? I imagine writing 1,000 reviews for anything. Should we start talking about the ACC?
Well, now people are guessing that that's of course she didn't want to reveal how they met. Belichick, old guys like museums. Oh, hey, I'm in town. Oh, sex toy museum. Oh, hey there, young lady pulling tickets here. I know something else you could pull. Do you think they met at the museum?
You think Kraft took Belichick there for a little talk?
I'm going on Yelp. I'm going to try and find this.
Yeah, please. I want to know where is that located?
I would say that. The thing that's funniest is when you see the reports that the friends and family close to Belichick are concerned and are looking into the situation. The videos, if you didn't see the ring cam, maybe you took a lot of time. The ring cam videos that were leaked of Belichick shirtless wandering around.
What's he talking about? This guy's fucking. What are you in his bushes watching?
You haven't seen any of this. No. So back to more of the reporting. So the people who this was an Airbnb. And there was a concern by the owners that this young lady and this old man was some sort of like drug dealer, like he was a coke dealer or something. They thought Belichick was a coke dealer, and this was his young lady. The whole thing seems odd. And now, and the last piece of it is the way that, and this you probably did see, is the university has gotten very defensive when
Well,
again,
that's what I'm saying. They're used to their guys out on the golf course being like, you might get a call about them having one too many, white zins at the golf course bar, So
now, most likely, I'm going to guess that we don't hear much more from this story until UNC's bad. But if they start losing games,
it is one of those things.
I have a feeling we're going to learn a little bit more about Jordan and her decision making.
If they end up being really good, it's going to completely go away.
She did what? She designed the jersey? Like,
oh, she's going to be designed in place by the time the end of the season. All right. Hey, of course, if you're looking for a little vacation, you got to go to Circa Las Vegas, the D. Good times there. Love us a trip to Circa Las Vegas. We're going to be hanging out. Circa Las Vegas, August 21st through the 23rd. Come say what's up. Use the promo code SGP15. Get you 15% off the stay. The Circa, the D, or the Golden Gate. We're going to be out there for the ultimate sign up weekend. Sign up for Circa Million. Sign up for Circa Survivor. $1,000 gets you in.
Shake my hand.
Shake Kramer's hand. 6 million guaranteed for Circa Millions. 15 million guaranteed for Circa Survivor. You don't want to win your company Survivor pool and not also be in Circa Survivor. And it's great. You got to come out to sign up. Great excuse to come out to Las Vegas. Footballcontest.com is our official proxy, and it's great. Proxies, you sign up with them, and then boom, you submit their picks every week. It's very easy to do. And a promo code SGP over at footballcontest.com gets you $50 off the proxy fees. But come say hi. Ultimate Contest Weekend is really awesome. Colby's going to be out there as well. Mac, we're going to be doing College Football Week 0 stuff. We're going to be doing live shows. The VSiN show. There's open bars. You want to come out for that weekend or any week in between now and when the NFL season kicks off. You can even sign up right up until I think it's the Saturday or Sunday of NFL Week 1. And of course, we're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Head over to MyBookie.ag as a promo code SGPN. 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's do apply. 100% match. NFL futures, college football futures, win totals, live in-game wagering, and even a little blackjack. They got it all. MyBookie.ag. Yes, the MyBookie money bag.
I'm taking a timeout right now.
Yeah, Ryan's taking a timeout. But you can. Do they have a random college football future?
I'll pull it up and see.
Okay. Head over there. Get started today. MyBookie.ag. Promo code SGPN.
It does not look like it right now. They have had they at some point they had the national champion, which is funny because they put every school in it, and so they can offer a decent price, but it's like you could end up with Kennesaw State. Good luck.
Arkansas Pine Bluff.
In fact, I probably have. I'm not going to look right now. I need to do that thing where you put your account on a timeout with the MyBookie
self-exclusion.
The money bag was just too fun for too long, and then it came crashing down. All right, we are back at it in the, as Sean said, All Coast Conference. When will this
coast goes both ways?
When will this stop, Colby? When will they just break all these silly conferences up? And
I probably
never.
15, 20 years. I don't know. I mean, it's hard. Like college, like it's changed so much in 3 years. So, I mean,
these big conferences they're not going to work. They'll figure this out eventually. Let's start with Chapel Bill, North Carolina, UNC coming off a 6-6 year. A little disappointing, I'd say. 7.5 is the win total this year. Some optimism, although the juice is being messed with. Plus 152 to the over. There? Do we have a slide?
Oh man,
we have a slide?
YouTube.com/sportsgambling podcast to subscribe.
A lot of zeros.
Get all the slides.
I forgot we have to show off how bad this half of the conference is.
None of these futures are. What's the
100 to 1?
SMU is 10. Yeah.
You laugh, but Virginia Tech has some of the shortest odds we're going to talk about today.
SMU's 100 to 1.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
SMU's 100 to 1, Tech's 500 to 1, Pitt's 700 to 1, and everyone else is 1,000 to 1.
UNC 1,000 to 1.
Yeah. So we move along. And as Colby mentioned, we have slides. I do appreciate this version of the UNC
Don't we
logo.
just put $10 on UNC just in case?
I'll tell you this, man.
Just
not for the
case.
natty. You do it for the ACC championship or to make the CFP.
So yeah, they're yeah.
Just in case, because
Plus
you know who their quarterback is, right? Have you driven a Gio Lopez lately?
Oh yes,
I've transferred in from South Alabama.
Plus 152 to get over that 7.5. Minus 188 to go under. 45-1 to win. We have different numbers, but 41-1. I'll say 45-1 to win the ACC playoff. 15-1 or 14-1. 100-1 to make to or 1,000-1 to win the national championship. All right, so we discussed the leadership room of North Carolina a little bit. This is terrifying. How can you talked about why Belichick probably less than Brady?
Yeah. Which,
who's more important, the quarterback or the coach? It's hard to not argue the quarterback, but I think the coach is important. But this could, first of all, if he wasn't able to build his program immediately, which he wasn't great at drafting at the NFL level. So I don't know if he's going to be the greatest recruiter. He brought in Mike Lombardi, who loved Lombardi, former co-host, a lot of hot air, which by the way, the hot air machine turned off the last couple months.
Everyone got lay low orders.
And I at some point you're going to be optimistic about the idea of an NFL program at the college levels.
Yep.
But the first year it feels like switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3 or something. You're just not going to have everything going and operating at a high level right away. And I don't care how good you were at the NFL level. You're not going to you're going to learn stuff about how to operate in college that will be different, and you won't know that year one.
I think that's the most interesting intrigue. Like more times than not, the NFL coaches when they come into college are terrible.
Yeah, they don't
Pete Carroll's about the only one that I could think of that actually came in. Al Groh came from the Jets to the Virginia, didn't work out. Chan Gailey went from the Cowboys to Georgia Tech. Lovie Smith went from the Bears to Illinois. Bill Callahan from the Raiders to Nebraska.
But I would also say
Wanstead.
But I mean, more recently in the ACC and in part one that we talked about, Bill O'Brien.
But he had such a big college background that I actually feel like he spent 15 years there.
I would also say, isn't the fact that you're paying these players and stuff like that, and the dynamics of college football have kind of changed?
True, but I also think the game is still
they're still kids. And I think there's still an element of development. Like you're in the pros, you're favoring organizational leadership. In the college level, you're talking more about like player leadership, player development. And I don't know if you bring in the right type of staff.
I would also say why this makes it so intriguing is his dad was a college football coach his whole life.
Yeah.
So he might know more than all those names I just rattled off.
I'm sure he knows a lot. He's Bill Belichick.
Well, I'm just saying he might know it better than all those guys to me probably weren't as plugged into college when they jumped down.
I would also say just looking and their schedule, I think is pretty favorable for a first year head coach.
Amazing. It's a lot like Cal's or Syracuse. We said Syracuse last year. To me, Cal, North Carolina, and another one we'll get to later this episode.
They miss everyone.
That's what they get Clemson at home. But besides that,
no SMU.
It is a very favorable schedule to get to the ACC championship. It's just the unknown of all this. It's a lot like Dion when Dion went to Colorado.
Short road trips against North Carolina teams. You do have a couple interesting spots.
And he's got both his sons on the staff too.
Again, my biggest concern is less about the football. Once you're playing football, it's getting to that and going from nothing to a team.
I mean, this is
go back and look at Belichick early in his time with other teams. He wasn't instantaneously successful. And so I think he's probably really smart. I think the defense will probably be very good and not make a lot of mistakes.
I'm fascinated by that though, because
but how quickly
the game
can
is
you
so much different as far as in the NFL, your athlete is, you're getting the best of everybody. So it's a lot of a copycat league. you know, it's when you're taking on UCF running what speed option and shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot different.
That's the strength of Belichick. I think the game strategy of football is probably the thing he's best at. So I'm not worried about him game planning for these different types of offenses. I'm worried about him having a team that can compete with I mean, he doesn't face a lot of quality, to your point, but when they do face quality teams, what's going to happen? I don't think the program's going to be ready year one.
And you want to talk about guys on the staff, Freddie Kitchens, who was obviously a joke at the pro level, but you want to talk about a guy who has a bunch of college football experience.
I remember him playing quarterback at Alabama.
Is he the
OC? Yeah. He's the OC.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of play calling experience as well.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think a guy like him is good for the college game and will help Belichick. And if Belichick just schemes up the defense and helps get in recruits, this team might be good.
I think it's
not year
fascinating.
one.
Well, let's look at the schedule because
a best case. All right. So again, I've said negative things about Colorado, but no one is better at going in, like getting to a team and flipping the team with recruits. And what happened with coach, like it wasn't instantaneous.
We hit the over both years.
Yeah.
Took a little bit of time. Yeah. He wasn't getting dealt a 7.5 win total either.
He wasn't getting dealt this type of schedule though. I can tell you this, Colorado's schedule was way tougher than this.
All right. Let's look at the schedule.
Week 1, Labor Day. I think I might be at this game. TCU at Keaton Memorial Stadium. So this is a fascinating game because guess what? When Coach Prime came up, guess who he played? TCU, and he beat him.
Knocked him off. What's the week 1 spread, Ryan? Do we have that?
I want to say.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
We should load up on TCU. I just feel like we should load up on TCU.
I have just TCU's laying only 2.5.
I'm kind of in on UNC.
Really?
The situation. Yeah.
I am too, but I actually think this is this might be the best team they play all year. Clemson and TCU is probably the top
at Syracuse will be tough. It's a tough spot, and so is that Cal. Those are tough Those are tough places.
No, but I'm saying
play.
the best roster. I'm saying like I think TCU's roster is probably the second best roster on the schedule.
Okay, so after TCU,
at the Clint, he's like, hey Jordan, you want to go to the Clint?
Yeah. Oh, she's gonna love that.
Let me tell you, this place is called Jerry Richardson Stadium.
Guys
all right?
Be careful.
You might not come back with Jordan.
Don't meet him. Look, they brought in Tim Albin, a brand new head coach who just won the MAC at Ohio. Kind of a fast. I'll tell you this: if North Carolina struggles, that game could be a little dicey. Then you get Richmond week 3. Good FCS.
Oh, great.
But,
excellent FCS.
Yeah, a great program.
Yeah. And then you head to the Moonbounce to take out Scott Frost.
Well, and let's think about this, right? Jordan's a woman about business. What else is she going to be doing while they're down there? Could he be distracted? Yeah, she might want to go hit the music. She's a kid. She wants to go hit the park.
Take me to Disney.
Bill's gonna be tired.
Chapel Bill, give me some cotton candy money.
He's gonna be tired.
Go win those mouse ears.
Go win me the big teddy, daddy.
Hey, Chapel Bill, don't let her get eaten by an alligator. It's happened down there.
He's got to get rid of this girl, right? Like he can. It's costing him way more.
What if he starts winning and then like hotter girls come up to him and it's just like he just stays 20 years old. I got him 3-1 in the non-con.
Okay.
I got no idea the UCF game.
I've
never seen Chapel Bill against a speed option. I got no idea. This is one of the harder ones.
Those 2 road games, they're gonna fucking lose those 2 road games.
No, I think you're crazy. Belichick's not getting out. He's not losing to the Charlotte 49ers. Come on. That's fucking insane.
Maybe the San Francisco 49ers, but not the Charlotte 49ers, right?
All right. Then we have the bye week. Again, with this weird bye week, Clemson bye. The Clemson spread.
They're going to get worked by Clemson.
The Clemson spread's 2 touchdowns.
I'm fascinated by this.
At Cal, UVA at home, at Syracuse, Stanford at home.
That's a great schedule.
At Wake,
great fucking
Duke
schedule.
at home, at NC State at right down the street.
All right, so I'm trying.
They don't leave the state of North Carolina their last month of the season.
That'll be good. More time with Jordan.
Yeah, I think they're at least 8-4. Give me the over, and I think they have a chance to like be decently good.
I mean, they only leave.
They're the highest variance team in the conference.
They only leave North Carolina 3 times. Yeah, I mean, I like the Gio Lopez get. I think he's good.
Did you get into it with Gio Lopez on Twitter?
He thought we were being, and then once he listened, we're cool.
Oh, what happened?
Because I was saying I love his stuff, but I said, have you driven a Gio Lopez lately?
Oh, that's right.
And then he thought it was a disrespectful line, and I said, no, listen to the episode. I've been fucking praising you, man.
He spells it GIO, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, he's good. He was fun. He was fun at South Alabama.
Yeah.
And Gio Lopez and a Freddie Kitchens offense. You want to fade these guys and defensive?
I don't know if I get excited about Gio Lopez and a Freddie Kitchens offense, but
Sean, you
doesn't sound as good.
We started this whole thing with you talking about how Belichick was washed. It was all Tom Brady.
I didn't say that. I said
you kind of did.
It was more to get Colby fired up. Honestly,
I see.
I think Belichick is a good head coach. The truth
he's really old and he's pussy whipped. You think he's grinding film? He's wearing mermaid costumes, Sean.
That is true.
They could make a run. That schedule's brilliant.
You guys are.
That is a brilliant schedule. I'm not taking the over though. I'm taking the under 2. There's 2.
What?
What? I just said that schedule's brilliant. But I don't have any confidence.
No.
I have no idea what to expect. When Dion's first season, his win total was 3.5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
this is 7.5. It is a lot easier.
And Dion had multiple years coaching at Division I, at least.
And to me, like, there's just too much unknown. There's 3 games where we know rosters are better than them, right? To me, TCU, Duke, and Clemson, right? I believe those rosters are actually more talented than Carolina's. Everyone else's is just Carolina might have the 4th most talented roster of this whole fucking schedule. So it's possible, but
I'm on the over.
7 and 5.
Colby and Ryan are on the under.
Unbelievable.
30 minutes in, we've only talked about UNC.
Belichick's a big topic.
It is hard
I don't know if you've been paying attention this offseason.
He's been in his bushes watching him.
Yeah.
I have not. Other people have been. Oh, I didn't even.
You get your Chapel Bill shirt? I gotta send some to the studio.
Send me one. I'll wear a Chapel Bill.
That is Jordan really monetizing. All right, NC State, the Wolf Pack. Nice looking wolf there.
Oh,
Colby.
wait, wrong one. Here you go.
There
you go. The Pussy Pack.
Oh wow. Is that that's after the pussy? It gets you again
that's Bill after yeah. Jordan, I didn't take my heart medicine. Damn it, woman.
6.5.
I'm googly eyed.
Is the win total coming off a 6-6 season, plus 112 to the over, minus 140 to the under, 37-1 to win the conference, 16-1 to make the playoff, and 1,000-1 to win the Natty. So the Pussy Pack, the days of the Pussy Pack being a team filled with optimism before the year because they have talent, seems like it's behind us. Colby?
Well, their defense, they've had great defenses under Dave Doran, but the DC is now Marshall's head coach. So I'm a bit concerned. He went and hired DJ Elliott from the Eagles staff, but he was at Colorado in the late 2017, 18. I was not a huge fan personally.
Okay. That's important.
But I will say this: they found something late in the season last year with the freshman quarterback CJ Bailey, so that's exciting. Hollywood Smothers is also a pretty good running back. I definitely think they'll be a bowl team, like just because there's enough talent on this roster. But guys, they open up the season with a team they ended the season with a loss. Remember that when they got in a big brawl?
Yep.
These Pussy Pack thought they could hang with the Pirates there in Annapolis.
Let me pull up this schedule.
And we had to teach them a lesson.
I am an East Carolina fan.
You think that ruins their entire season?
Well, let's just say it's a rivalry game. And last time they suspended the rivalry for about 15 years because we stormed their field and took down their goalpost. So when we win in that filthy Carter Finley Stadium, which one's worse, that or beating Virginia Tech after the massacre?
That was pretty bad. I mean, no respect. No respect. You want to run through the schedule here for the Pussy Pack?
Yeah, schedule is favorable for them. This North Carolina NC State team, they just feel Yeah, literally the pack because they're always middle of the pack. Like,
Well,
it's hard to have a strong take on them, hot or cold.
They haven't won. They haven't even played for the ACC championship since the 70s. How's that possible? Wake Forest has been like the 3 ACC championships.
Yeah, even you just have to remind yourself every year, even if there's reason to be optimistic, they'll find a way. ECU, UVA correct me if I'm wrong.
2002, last time they won double-digit games.
Colby,
Phillip Rivers. Yeah.
This is an incredibly unorthodox way to start your schedule, right?
Yeah, you're going right to the fire. right to the
into
fire.
Your conference schedule. ECU,
3 rivals. Actually, I mean, you could even argue when Virginia's a non-con game, by the way.
Oh,
that one's not because they added a new conference.
Right,
this is because the ACC thought that they should do more games. So they said they encouraged to drop the group of 5 games and try to.
I mean, why not just have an extra conference game?
I don't know. You would think that'd be smart to do, but
so you're playing someone in your conference, but it's not a conference game.
And it's not a conference game.
Kramer, what are they doing in this college football? Well, what the hell's going on here?
Well,
you need a commissioner. You need a strong hand.
Sean, on one hand,
to organize your dumb bullshit.
At least they're playing a Power 5.
Yeah, that is true.
They are boosting their schedule,
but it's very confusing when you're watching 2 conference foes play each other. You're like, don't worry, that won't count for the conference title.
Like we talked about it the other day with Arizona and Kansas State, but I understand that one because they scheduled this thing a couple years
ahead
ago.
of time.
Yeah.
And
then they
this was after
this one is ridiculous.
So you have ECU followed by UVA and as a non-con, and then back-to-back road games
against rivals
at Wake, at Duke, and then Virginia Tech.
Oh, now they're good.
When they're playing North Carolina.
What about the Campbell Sean?
When they're playing North Carolina State. Yeah.
I just think you don't generally start your season smashing against all these conference opponents.
Well, not only that, like all majority rivals or border battles, then as Patty C says.
Then a week off at taking on Campbell, and then you go to
at Notre Dame,
South Bend, and then a bye, and then at Pitt, where it's late October.
Those Yellow Jackets.
That's a physical back-to-back right there. The Pitt, Georgia. Notre Dame, and then Pitt and Georgia Tech. That they're going to get beat up in that little stretch there, and then you go another bye week and at Miami, Florida State, and then.
No, they have had Carolina's number lately under Doran. They have had Carolina's number, but this is Chapel Bill era.
Yeah, you don't got Bill Belichick.
Yeah, they're gonna win this.
His number.
Your daughter might.
Hold on.
Your daughter might.
Are we sure he's gonna be the coach then?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on the under.
Yeah, I got him 6.
They're just under
6-6.
They're perpetually underwhelming.
I think it's a hard schedule though. Besides Wake Forest, who's early on. Brand new head coach.
I don't see a lot of wins on the schedule here.
I mean, they could beat Virginia. They could beat Virginia Tech. They could beat Campbell. I just don't build me 7 wins right there.
If they win all their home games.
So ECU, which is very hard.
UVA, non-con.
Virginia Tech, Campbell. That's 4. Georgia Tech though. 5.
Florida State and UNC.
No, they're gonna drop. This is fucking NC State.
Under.
You went out of your way to make that graphic. We have to take the under. Next up, we have Pitt, which what the black book still says? Fade Narduzzi. This is a classic Pitt logo. Excellent work, Colby. 6.5 wins this year feels about right for this squad. As they're coming off a 7-5 season, 2 years removed from that outlier 3-9 year, plus 104 to the over, minus 128 to the under, 39-1 to win the conference, 18-1 to make the playoff, and one of the few teams we'll talk about today, sub 1,000 to win the Natty, 700-1. Always have a great home edge when the weather gets cold.
Yeah,
but talk to us. What are we doing with
Colby's already put Narduzzi back in the hot seat.
I was going to say, is he going to be?
I'm still surprised because they have a brand new AD, a brand new president. So I just feel like it's tricky.
They started out hot
7-0, right?
Yeah, and then lost all 5 at the end.
That happens. But I will say this: I was high on Pitt last year, and I think I hit the win total. I was trying to check that. I didn't.
You failed at checking it.
I'll check.
I didn't find last year's thing.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. I got it. It's right here.
What was it? What was their win total? 6.5 last year?
Yes.
and I hit that. Right.
Last year was 5.5.
Yeah, and they won 7.
We all went over.
Well, part of the reason I liked it is because legendary Florida Gator quarterback Kerwin Bell, his son. So Kerwin Bell's the head coach of Western Carolina, and they're good. And his son was the OC, and he came over to Pitt, and he brought Desmond Reed, an FCS guy who was all ACC last year. That dude knows offense. They can fucking score. And I think another year in the offense for Eli Holstein, and I know they brought in Cole Gonzalez, the former Western Carolina quarterback as well. I think this team's gonna be able to score some points. And one thing I do know about Narduzzi, he's terrible in game. He's like Mario Cristobal.
Yeah,
in game adjustments, but he can coach fucking defensive players.
Well, what happened last time? He had a good offense.
They won the ACC
fired
championship.
that fucking guy.
And then he fired him. They won the championship, and then he said, "You know what?
Get the fuck out of here!
Hey, let's celebrate. You're fired, you pile of shit." Right?
Why did he get rid of him?
Too much.
I honestly think he was probably offended at the fake quarterback slide, like me. As a defensive guy, he's like, "You ever try that bullshit again?" In fact, I don't even want to look at you. Get out of this office.
They can win 7 of these games. Look at this schedule.
I just think the offense will be better this season, knowing what that was a big jump from the other Signetti to who was much more conservative to this style of offense. So I am kind of bullish on this team, knowing that Narduzzi will have the defense looking pretty good. Let's break down the schedule.
Well, they're playing the alma mater of Man in the Box.
Yeah, love
CJ Sullivan, the Duquesne Dukes.
Love the regionality.
I saw CJ posted. Never mind. So Central Michigan Chippewas, which one of our directional Michigan teams?
Fire up Chips. That was me.
That was you. I know I'm Western Michigan.
Yeah.
At West Virginia, the backyard brawl. Which Colby, should this open the season? Is that the right time to play it, or should it?
It should end the season on Black Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've screwed that up. Then we have a bye week. So going into the bye, what's the record?
I think 3-0, but it could be in Morgantown. You never know. You're getting hit with fucking batteries. I
feel like we gave West Virginia this win.
I don't think I did. I think I said it's anyone's game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's you're asking Rich Rod to get the guys right away.
What do you think the spread is for that Pitt West Virginia game?
Pitt minus 1.5.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah?
Pitt minus 1.5. All right, then you have Louisville, Boston College at home, and then a back-to-back road spot at Florida State at Syracuse. Tricky. NC State at home, and then third road game in 3 weeks. Traveling to the West Coast.
Why do I just see them? That's like the classic
tricky.
Narduzzi game.
They're going to lose 2 of those road games.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Then you have a bye, and then Notre Dame at Georgia Tech, Miami. That's
here's
brutal
the thing.
Stretch.
But here's the thing about Pitt.
But you get Miami at home and Notre Dame at home.
Yeah, you get Miami at home on November 29th.
Yeah, that's a win.
Yeah. Pitt always will fuck with the good schools. So like Louisville or Notre Dame, or like in this instance, Miami, one of those teams is going to lose to Pitt. Pitt bangs on the line of scrimmage, dude. I'm on the over. It's tricky because you go through that and it is a rather
Clemson.
Yeah, no Clemson.
No Virginia Tech.
Is that I think you want Virginia Tech on the schedule this year.
No SMU.
Yeah,
no Clemson, no
UVA.
SMU. You're in a good spot right there. Their defense is always good,
and you get 2 first-year head coaches in the non-con in September.
Yeah,
in Central Michigan's and West Virginia's.
I will say this too: they play Notre Dame after Notre Dame has to play Navy.
Oh, that's a good time
to get your knees chopped
and you're coming off a bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like they're going to finish with 2 wins there, and they'll drop the Georgia Tech.
It's not crazy. The plus 3,900 to win the ACC, because if they get there,
all right. What we feel good about the quarterback?
He's an Alabama transfer, but I mean he has moments. But I feel better that he's in year 2 of that offense, and also the fact they brought in the Western Carolina starting quarterback as the backup.
I started this with fade Narduzzi, and we're taking the over.
I'm on the over.
No, Narduzzi you can fade in certain spots.
Like they'll lose the Stanford game.
Yeah, like as a road favorite. That's when you fade Narduzzi.
Yeah.
He's been great to his win total. I feel like
he'll kick a field goal at the 1 down 7 with a minute left against Stanford.
Well, yeah. Whenever you have a chance to cut a 1-score game to a 1-score game, you got to do it.
That was my favorite. What was your logic on that, Coach? I thought we could have got the ball back, but you only had 2 timeouts and there was a minute left. I thought we could have got the ball back. So you kicked the field goal from the 2-yard line.
Maniac.
All right, let's move along to one of the favorites in the conference. Really mailed this one in, Colby. SMU.
That's just such a good logo. I don't like fucking.
Is this the only team we'll talk about this season that once was given the death penalty and then came back to life?
Back from the dead? I think so.
They pulled a DeMar Hamlin before DeMar Hamlin even existed. 11-1 last year, 8-0 in conference. 8.5 is the win total this year. -115 to the over, -105 to the under. 850 to win the conference, +360 to make the playoff. -500 to miss it. 100 to 1 to win the national championship. All right, so is this team going to continue to be good, or was that just a 1-year pop?
They spend money. They got George Bush
8-0 in conference play, plus 128 yards per game. Like they dominated the conference. 12 returning starters.
I'm a little worried about the defense though,
including their quarterback Jennings. Yeah, and they were a weird team. Like they got off to kind of a slowish start.
This is last year's schedule.
Yeah.
Just
should have lost to Duke. Should have lost to Nevada.
Almost lost to Reno. Lost to BYU.
Didn't exactly have the toughest schedule.
Yeah, they hooked them up last year, but you pay for that. They said we don't need any money, just give us a good schedule.
Welcome party, definitely. So yeah, I mean, they also struck me when we were watching the end of the season as a team where it was like, okay, this is a team we're gonna probably have to fade next year. But
they do get RJ Maryland healthy though. That guy might be the first tight end drafted in the son of Russell Maryland from the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, but they also push the win total they push it down quite a bit to where, we don't need them to win 11 or 10 games. It's
9-3 gets it done.
Can they be a 9-3 team in the conference?
How about the non-con though? Can we talk about the non-con for a second? Hey, Texas A&M Commerce shows up. East Texas A&M now. Okay, that'll be 1-0. I'll lay the 54. Then Baylor.
That's a tough game.
Old Southwest Conference rivals. Then guess who's new to the FBS this year, guys? Missouri State. And guess what they get? They get a team that made the playoffs come into their fucking house. And their head coach married into Bobby Petrino's family.
Good nugget.
Yeah.
That's by marriage related to Bobby Petrino.
Yes. And then at TCU, do you guys remember what happened last year? They ran it up on fucking TCU and Sonny Dykes got kicked out of the game. I tend to think TCU is going to get them there. So the question is can they beat Baylor? And can they beat Missouri State? Which you would think, it's an FCS school, but I will say this.
What do you think that spread will be?
You're telling me the students aren't going to be fucking going crazy knowing they're hosting a team that made the playoffs a year ago?
And they're new to the FBS.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say 3-1. Maybe, I don't know about the Baylor game. 3-1 in the non-con.
All right.
The Baylor's one. Tricky.
Yeah, it could be 2-2, right?
Yeah, it could be 2-2.
Drop that Missouri State game looking ahead to TCU. Why would you schedule it like that? I don't understand these teams. They can control everything about their schedule and they still do this. Then the bye week, then you have Cuse, Stanford, 2 probably easy wins there.
Oh,
then at Clemson, at Wake, another back-to-back road spot. Come home to Miami.
It's good to have Wake on the second end of a back-to-back.
At Boston College.
Yeah, then at Boston College
in November.
Cold. Bye week, and then Louisville, and then a West Coast trip against Cal. You can only lose 9 games. We have. You can only lose 3 games.
No, you can't. I mean, to hit the over. You mean?
Yeah. And we have 2 potential losses in the first 4.
Yeah, under.
I think 8-4, but it's close to me. It's close.
They won't beat Clemson.
I'm on the under, but I'm not locking it up. There's other stuff I like in this.
That Baylor game is so huge. If they lose that Baylor game, I feel pretty good that you're going to cash the under. They beat Baylor, then it gets a little dicey.
Okay. There's plenty of games. There's like 6 losable games. At least.
Under. How many overs in because we're doing the Virginia Tech episode. How many does that ramp up your unders?
Possibly. We'll have to see. Thanks for asking.
Sure.
Stanford, the tree, aka Cardinal, who, by the way, if you haven't seen Andrew Luck helping out at practice,
He's back from Europe.
What a good guy. What a good guy. Their win total this year is a comically low 3.5, plus 126 on the over, minus 154 to the over or to the under. This number almost doesn't seem real, but they're 300-1 to win the conference.
Well,
80-1 to make the playoff, which that price is wild.
Somebody was,
and then 1,000-1 to win the national championship.
Somebody I remember locking up Stanford last year over 3.5 wins.
They didn't get there.
No,
they got 3 wins last year.
No.
3 wins the year before.
There's a trend.
Are they a 3-win team?
Well, their whole team left in like April, so it's hard to.
So all right, Colby, why did so Andrew Luck comes in and
he was hired in November to be their general manager.
He then quote observes the program and collects information.
Yeah. And then Troy Taylor, apparently they got him on a technicality. Who knows what's right? I don't know. Maybe he did offend these chicks. Maybe I know a lot of people went to bat for Troy Taylor though. That said like, nah, he wouldn't do that. I don't know what went on, but I know this. Normally when you hire GM,
well, we got the audio of what he said. I'm wet. And it was taken out of context, I think.
But I tend to think like once that happened, they fired him in April, and a lot of the roster.
You can't fire a college
left.
Football coach in April.
A lot of and then there's this NCAA thing where like once you like if a coach gets fired, you have 30 days. You have 30 days to leave the team. And their team did. I think two offensive linemen are now starting at Oklahoma.
But they're
starting tight end and a defender, I think, at BYU. So,
but you would know that doing this could be catastrophic.
But he might figure we're gonna be ass anyway. I watched the spring game maybe, and then he's like,
"But
might as well get it over with." Yeah.
What happened though? Really?
They said inappropriate comments, but Troy Taylor wrote back saying like he didn't do any of this shit, and then a bunch of other coaches went to bat for him, saying like, "I don't."
Then what do you think it was? Because like, it's a strange
like Northwestern
thing
all over again.
Sabotage your program.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he wasn't likable. Maybe they don't like each other. I don't know.
Maybe he called Andrew Luck a pussy for retiring.
Said,
for a weird
granola boy,
thing.
why don't you go on another hike? All right. I can tell you this though. I'm a skeptic on 3 wins here. 3.5 wins.
Wait, you're telling me they said, you know what, Andrew Luck fires the coach and then says, you know what, let's start the season in Hawaii and a bye week after.
And he calls Frank Wright and says, how would you like to come out and coach the boys in Hawaii on the island at the Ching Complex Center? Bring your membership. They're going to lose that game.
Is that they got their stadium?
Hawaii is going to be good this year.
Is Hawaii Stadium going to be done?
No,
still not.
Still
done.
the
They're
complex.
never making it.
Still not done.
It's a Ponzi.
Jesus Christ, the Rock.
Burnt down to the fire.
The Rock and Oprah behind this one too? Fuck.
That's dude. They're going to lose. I think Hawaii's going to be pretty good this year.
Okay, that would.
I think we thought that last year too.
Yeah, but true. I think this is the year.
Then
this is the year.
So for their second non-con off the bye, they decide to. So they play week 0.
Loss.
They then go on bye for week 1 because who wants to play week 1? And then they go to BYU.
That's
Jesus.
a loss.
Then Boston College at home.
That game's interesting, but I'll take BC.
At UVA.
Loss.
And San Jose State. San Jose State new coach.
No, Niumatalolo year 2.
No, yeah, they're in trouble.
First off, San Jose State beat them last year, and San Jose State.
I'll give them 1 win.
I think is the top contender to Boise in the Mountain West.
1 or 2 wins there, right?
I got them winless.
1. They don't beat Boston College.
I mean, maybe that's the one. I think
they're going to beat some of these teams coming east or coming west.
Yeah.
Like all right, one win. Then off the second bye, so they've had 2 by week 5. They've had 2 bye weeks.
That's actually good though. That's good for a new head coach.
Sure.
Frank Reich coming from the pros.
Where he had a ton of success down the backstretch of his career.
No, but it's college. It's easier to.
He's
coach.
Probably like, hey Andrew, can we bring in an old washed up vet? Any interest in playing quarterback at
Carson Wentz is a couple of years eligible
at SMU off the bye.
Loss.
Then you have homecoming against Florida State.
Who knows if Norvell gets fired by there? You know, but I think Florida State wins
at Miami.
I do like that's the only time Colby perked up was Florida State at home.
At Miami.
No, I told you the Pitt win. That's my win.
Stanford not going to fill up the. Do you think Miami's going to be Miami fans or Stanford fans for that one? Stanford does travel well. Do you remember that story when Christian McCaffrey was coming out and he's like, it's actually quite peaceful because I can ride my bike from the game back to my apartment without being bothered.
I'll never understand that. Like they have this program has won a lot of games.
Yeah, they've had really good players come through it. Really good seasons. Yeah, some of the best seasons.
Yeah.
Pitt Panthers at North Carolina, and then a third bye week. 3 bye weeks, and then they play Cal
them get Notre Dame
and Notre Dame.
They always kind of play Notre Dame tough, but I'm on the under. I honestly, there's no Wake Forest here,
so they're only getting 3 East Coast teams.
Dude, they could go 0-12. They better get Hawaii or BC.
2 teams from the East Coast time zone, 1 from Central.
I got them beat.
Pitt. Sorry,
they're gonna upset Pitt.
Yeah, 3 Eastern, 1 Central. So that's 4 wins potentially.
No, they can't get 4. Not on that schedule.
No.
Not on that schedule. I mean,
so Cal beats them. Yes.
What
Pitt.
game are they
You're
favored in? Do you have a line on the Hawaii game?
I don't think they're.
We have week 0.
I'll take the under, but I like the idea of no one believing in Stanford and trying to wrap my head around it. But to Kramer's point, their real advantage is playing these East Coast teams at home, and they only have a few of those spots.
Stanford's had a couple advantages over the last couple decades. One, they generally have, no matter how good or bad they are, they have big fucking bodies.
Yeah.
Which it sounds like they lost a lot of those big fucking bodies.
They normally always have some NFL guys on their roster, but it seems right now
and 2,
transitional. In
the ACC, their massive advantage is they're going to catch some teams on bad travel spots. So yeah, I think 3. I'm kind of with you. I think they can get Boston College, Florida State, Pitt. They'll get those 3. Maybe that's their ceiling.
I don't think they're going to beat all 3.
They're favored by 2.5 over Hawaii, which I'm already liking Hawaii as well.
In the
Hawaii
Chang Center
is a better football team right now.
Is it the Ching Center or the Chang Center? Okay. Colby says move along.
Do you have that Bruce Lee clip you sent us, Shad?
Oh shit. The Miller Lite was very scandalous back in the day. All right, let's move along to Sean's second favorite program, the Syracuse.
You got to move that slide.
Orange men.
Classic.
Orange. I forget.
Orange men.
Are they still the Orange men?
Well, they don't have any women on their football team unless.
Do they?
Let me check their quarterback position really quick.
So the Syracuse Orange coming off a 9-3 year, very nice. 5.5 this year. Plus 136.
10-3 season, buddy.
9-3 regular season.
Okay, still
I don't observe.
When you win 10 wins at Syracuse, you got to.
I don't observe the postseason when we talk about this stuff because it's all willy nilly. Some teams play, some teams don't. It's Mickey Mouse. Minus 168 under 5.5. 60-1 to win the conference. 30-1 to make the playoff. 1,000-1 to win the Natty. It seems like there was this tremendous amount of optimism around Syracuse. And now
because Fran Brown's the man.
But now they're already talking about him moving on to his next job.
Well, not after this season because Syracuse got a great schedule last year, and the ACC said, "I hope you enjoyed it," because they stuck it to him this year. I think this is the hardest conference schedule in the ACC. So they did bring in Stephen Jelly, who played in the college football playoffs, and had played well against Penn State for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. It's kind of the guy to start that comeback.
Kyle McCord, obviously now Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to Kyle.
Oh, so no more Honda McCord.
No,
huh?
No, he got rid of the Honda. He's got like Chevy Tahoe. I'll have to ask him.
He's
but
barely making any money.
He was good. Obviously, pumped a ton of offense, but he did have some backbreaking interceptions that certainly cost them in those losses. So if you get someone that's maybe a little less turnover prone, that could be a addition, a slight upgrade in some sense.
Yeah. I tend to, I don't know, that feels like that quarterback specifically. I feel like we should be measuring when you lose a competent one.
Well, they lost Gadsden too. I mean, they do get Justin Ross Simmons back, the wideout from Colorado State that came in.
Who's going to win the quarterback job?
I think it's going to be Stephen Jelly over Collins, the transfer from LSU. Yeah. But who knows? But that was a late ad. It makes me think though that they watched the spring game.
And they're
like, we're going to need somebody.
We need a quarterback.
But to me, as much as I like Fran Brown, and I do,
Schedule's tough.
The schedule's really tough.
Schedule's very hard.
They open up in Atlanta at that filthy
Chick-fil-A will be open.
What the hell's that? Mercedes-Benz.
What's that spread?
Kickoff classic.
They could win that game.
I'm gonna be on them on the money line.
They could win that game.
Money line is
Tennessee
plus,
lost Nico.
plus 360, 12.5
in a
points.
dome.
But that's all going to be Tennessee fans.
Yeah,
who gives a shit?
I've been to that game. The ACC doesn't fare well in that game. I would recommend you don't bet on the ACC in that game. UConn and Colgate.
Watch out for UConn.
Games.
Watch out for UConn.
I thought you were going to say watch out for Colgate. Then at Clemson,
Winnable.
Loss.
Always give him fits.
Duke at home, which again I think the basketball matchup there. At SMU, bye week. Pitt at Georgia Tech. Their road games are very difficult.
Yeah.
North Carolina at home, at Miami.
Jesus.
Bye at Notre Dame, and then Boston College.
They'll still get 6 wins. I mean,
they play 5 road games that are all they're going to be underdog clearly in all 5 of those road games and the neutral site. So that's, to me, that's 6 losses.
That Tennessee
right
game is so, if they can get that Tennessee game, I can see a path, but
all right. So if they don't win a road or neutral site game, can they run the table at home?
They can win one of these road games. Come on.
I think they'll lose one of these home games.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me UConn, Duke, Pitt, Carolina.
No, I would say
DC.
Duke, Pitt, or North Carolina will get them.
I think UConn could too. Dude.
They are going to easily go over 5.5 wins.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the under. Colby's on the under with me.
5-7.
Yeah. Great call, Colby.
They could be 6-6 if they get that Tennessee game, but 5-7. More
Kramer,
likely.
you love unders, then you'll love Underdog Fantasy. That's right. Head over to Underdog Fantasy. Kramer and I drafting best ball mania teams all summer long, and why not? You got a chance to win $2 million the first, $1 million the second, $25 entry fee, and you get $1,000 in bonus cash when you go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. It's a bonus match. Load up on that first deposit and get in on the action. They got college football pick'em, college football season long, higher lowers, so many ways to win over on Underdog Fantasy. And best ball is the only way to play fantasy football. Don't bother with the bullshit season long drafts. You got to manage leagues and claim waivers and trades.
How many leagues are you in this year?
0.
Zero.
Drafting is the best part, and Underdog's got it. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, home of the power trends. That's right. Right now you can get in MLB, WNBA, college football right around the corner. The models will be popping up the data. Not only can you build your own models, you can just copy Rhythm's models if you don't feel like building your own. But it is fun to build your own. You adjust the sliders. They back test the data and go, hey, this is a good idea. Let's build this model. And then you get the picks spit out every week. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
All right, we continue with boy.
Who the hell is this guy?
This is gonna be a problem. I feel like
that Thomas Jefferson.
The algorithm. I mean, again, you gotta look for those dildos under. And he does have a sword.
He just came from the sex toy museum.
Yeah, hold on. What is that hiding underneath his pants? It's strangely. That's a weird shaped sword. I mean, Colby, this isn't even a joke. I've never seen a sword with a tip. That.
Kramer, can you zoom in on that thing?
I don't think I can go full screen. Let's see what that's not how a sword normally ends.
That is literally the tip of a sword. YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. Colby, where'd you get this graphic from?
This is back in the day, their logo, long time ago.
I'm coming to the rescue with a zoomed in version. Let's just see what this looks like.
Okay. Oh my God, Colby, where are you getting this image?
That's not a sword. What is this? What kind of fucked up cosplay? One more time.
YouTube.com/sportsgambling.
Oh, one more time. Oh my God. All right. UVA. This is horribly great people on both sides. Not really. UVA. What the fuck is a Wahoo anyway? I still, the last great UVA moment I can remember is them getting bounced by Furman as I stood up and gave a huge round of applause to the shockingly large contingent of UVA fans out in beautiful Vegas at the Westgate. That was fabulous. Coming off a 5-7 season, people are a little optimistic about this team because their win total is 6.5 this year, plus 108 to the over, minus 132 to the under, 95-1 to win the conference, 25-1 to make the playoff. Get the fuck out of here. 1,000-1.
They're optimistic because they went out and spent.
Yeah.
They brought in Cameron Ross at wide receiver spot, and Trell Harris, also quarterback Chandler Morris. That guy's been in college football a long time, and he started a lot of games. So, and then they added some guys on the defensive side, and obviously Dion shit on him for tampering with his players. Yeah, I mean, this is them going in. They actually finally listened to Patty C and threw money into their football program. Now the question is, can it work? Because he has not delivered. He is definitely on the hot seat. So, gotta be this is part of the reason why I said, what did I say? Carolina, Cal. This is the third team. The schedule's amazing.
Well, and they last year. They started 4-1, finished 5-7. So coming in cold, but only 9 returning starters. But maybe that's good if you're a 5-7 team.
Well, they open up against the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, then at NC State, the Pussy Pack.
Non-con game.
Is that it? That's a non-con.
That's the same game.
Yeah, the same game we were talking about earlier. Then you have William and Mary. They still call them the Tribe.
Still call them the Tribe.
Jesus Christ.
Go.
I mean, it's 2025, guys. Then you get the Cardinal. I mean, look at this.
Stanford at home.
Look at this list of mascot or team names they're going against. The Chanticleers, Pussy Pack, Tribe, Cardinals, Seminoles, and Cardinals. I mean, that's a nice stretch to open the season.
They're gonna if they start off 4-0, they're gonna get destroyed by Louisville, or 5-0, whatever that is.
So they could be 5-1 here.
Nah, I think they're gonna be
4-2.
Yeah, I'll take 4-2.
Bye week. Then you have a homecoming game against the Washington State Cougars, who aren't in the best of states right now. At UNC and at Cal. That's a tough back-to-back. Then you come home to play Wake and go back on the road for Duke. Very tricky little block of games there. Then a bye week into the Virginia Tech game, and we know how that will finish.
So we got them 4-2 before the bye. They only need to win 3 games. Man, they're going to be 6. They feel like it's just a 500 team. I think I'm going under. Colby, can you make a case for them going over?
Oh, certainly. That schedule's amazing, but yeah. We just haven't seen them be like. I don't know if Tony Elliott's a good coach.
No,
and it's like
not.
You're just sitting there, but they invested.
The Clemson coaches aren't good. I'm fine saying that. I think Dabo has an amazing culture down there, and things work out because for a long time, like you've mentioned many times, they were cheating the best. Or cheating as good as some of the best teams.
He's coming off the best year at UVA at 5-7. Before that, 3-9, and then 3-7.
It's certainly neither one of the dudes that left Clemson have exactly looked anywhere near good.
I can get to 6 wins.
Yeah, not over
before they play Virginia Tech. And let me ask you,
they're not winning against
Sean.
Virginia.
Is Brent Pry even there?
Oh my God! You and these. You're putting another coach in the ground.
Oh, he'll be there. He's got to move some.
I got to take the under.
Move some heavy bags from the equipment.
Not a crazy thing to play that plus 9,000 to win the ACC though, Sean. Because with that schedule,
yeah,
I see one automatic loss with that schedule.
They play 3 road games in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Colby.
at UNC, at Cal, Wake at home, but then at Duke.
What if UNC's terrible?
I'm fine with that. I mean, look, I see what you're saying.
They actually traditionally play North Carolina really well.
Kramer, you're gonna go over on 6.5, right?
Can't do it.
Really?
Can't do it. They've won once against Virginia Tech.
Bronco Mendenhall.
2004.
Bronco Mendenhall.
So we're all in the under 6.5.
Fuente, that piece of shit. How do you lose in 2019 in Charlottesville? It's disgusting. Next up,
Kramer. Just so you know, you won over in this episode compared to 6 unders.
I mean, there are a ton. We joked about how many teams are 1,000-1. to win the national championship in this group. It's not the hottest take to not think they're very good. Oh, nice. You got the sexy pajama Hokie logo here from my Virginia Tech Hokies. Have not sent the donation check in yet. Coming off back-to-back 6 and 6 years. 6.5 is the win total this year. Plus 110 to the over, minus 134 to the under, 34-1 to win the conference. Funny how the win total for you is that for UVA and Virginia Tech are the same, but the conference price is so different. 16-1 to make the playoff, 500-1 to win the national championship. Talk your shit, Colby.
Well, Drones is already injured, but here's the good news. I thought Pop Watson looked pretty good last year.
Yeah, he did.
So if Drones is injured, though, you don't want to hear that your quote unquote Heisman candidate, Sean, is already
candidate?
dinged up. But I did like what they did in the portal. I think Terrion Stewart from Bowling Green's a nice get. I also like Donovan Green, the wideout from Wake Forest. The main question to me is not the roster.
No, it's the coach.
It is. From my experience watching Brent Pry teams, they seem very poorly prepared, over penalized, and that is normally a sign of a bad coach. That's what has me weary. I personally
Pop Watson also has a soft tissue injury, by the way. I mean, it's not been a great spring.
I like betting on guys named Pop, but at the same time,
reason to be concerned about Drones is the injury. The minor procedure was due to soreness, and so there's some speculation it could have something to do with a throwing ligament or throwing arm.
In the Brent Pry era, what would have been his signature wins?
No, he hasn't. I think he hasn't beat a team with a winning record, or
he hasn't.
Maybe one.
He's done nothing. And to Colby's point, it's the obvious shit. It's the shit that you would like. The rah. He's good at the rah stuff. He's good at getting the alumni excited. He's much better at that than Fuente. And perhaps that was purely just the pendulum swung so far over to Fuente land where he wasn't good. He was too busy to say what's up to Frank Beamer and the 99 national championship team to now we have Coach Pry where all he wants to do is fucking jerk off these Virginia high school coaches and talk about how this is home and get Metallica to play a fucking concert in Blacksburg.
Another thing is like Pry got his rep as Penn State DC.
Yeah.
The defenses after Pry have been better than when he was there.
Sure. I would say that the defense at times has been good, right? Like they were able to get after the quarterback. I don't necessarily hold the defensive system against him.
No, I'm just saying though, is like, was he worthy of the head coaching position? Because every DC there is fire.
Yeah, but like I said, they desperately wanted someone that wasn't Justin Fuente, who had no connection to the alumni, to the fan base. And so the fan base very much wanted someone like this.
The recruiting pipeline,
hey,
connected to the school.
As opposed to this.
Oh wow. Virginia I mean, when we talked to Bud Foster, he even talked about this. That Virginia Tech was good for one reason. Because they won Virginia. And Virginia has plenty of talent. And sure, you're not going to win Virginia anymore, but the idea that you're going to come in like the Justin Fuente idea was let's go recruit Texas and Florida and these places where you're going to even do a worse job. And so,
but there was an article saying the administration was against him from the start.
Against who?
Fuente.
I mean, also, fire Babcock. Who know at this point it's both sports. It's multiple people. And it seems like everyone says the same thing about this guy, which is he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And so that's why he's not getting my check this year. But as far as the schedule, they do welcome Little Beamer into the Atlanta, Georgia.
Why can't this be on campus?
So they do two of these now, huh? Well, this is fine.
Do a home and home.
I agree.
Come on.
I agree. But at least you're playing someone. I'd much rather have these games.
Well, and you're going to get pissed on week 2. That's nice.
But Colby, I'd rather, if we're going to do neutral site bowl games, I'd rather them be week 0, week 1, where we get all these great matchups.
I just think both stadiums are the epitome of why we watch college football.
I agree. But think about it. bowl games too suck because
Chick-fil-A
your team might
open,
be you might be out on your team at 6-6.
No, I agree with your assessment, but I'm just saying, like, when I think of Enter Sandman, when I think of Williams Bryce down there in Columbia, like two of the best college football environments that you sell your if your TV execs own college football, apparently, you want to sell your product. Why people should watch? You are purposely removing that and putting it in a fucking corporate stadium, and it won't pop the same.
I mean, they literally jerk off to the idea of Enter Sandman now. It is odd that you wouldn't want that extra game there. Then you have Vanderbilt at home.
Sean, the train is coming.
Revenge is
Sean, I wonder how many people have played Enter Sandman while they got pissed on.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. Old Dominion.
Watch out now.
ODU, the Monarchs.
Another wedding ruined. Tell me you're going to a wedding on
Revenge is the best. Both of these are like late afternoon games too. So watch out. They will be rowdy. Then you got the WAF Fighting Terriers from
the
Wofford.
Mike Young homage game. Watch out for Sean Watson's bunch.
Is Mike Young fired by this point? At NC State.
Pussy pack.
That's a winnable road game.
Yeah.
Wake Forest coming to town. Another winnable game.
I think you definitely
Colby,
win that one.
you forgot to mention the schedule, please.
Schedule is good for Virginia
They
Tech.
could very easily be 5-1.
They could also be fucking
fuck off
2-4
at Georgia Tech.
What are we talking about here?
At that tiny little puny Bobby Dodd
Vanderbilt
Stadium.
whooped your ass last year.
Georgia Tech with their old car guy driving around like an idiot. Bye week.
Wait, hold on. Tell me what your record is at that bye week.
Realistically,
yes,
6-1, 5-2, 6-1,
4-3.
I'd say 5-2.
I think they're 0-2. How's morale going to be when Old Dominion comes in? When all those guys weren't recruited by Virginia Tech?
What's prize buyout? Ryan, would you chip into a prize buyout right now?
No, I will not.
Okay.
Fire everyone.
Wait. Fire everyone. He was asking if you're going to donate money
I'm not
to get him
donate.
fired.
No. Fire
everyone. What is his buyout?
Fire the AD first. I do not know what the prize buyout is. You want to look that up for me?
I'll look it up.
Cal. Then you have Cal coming all the way across the country, and then a tough home.
That's a nice little stretch there.
Then you get and that's a Friday night game, and then you're again. Why do we not have a Thursday night game in Blacksburg? You idiots. Then you have Louisville coming to town, also probably going to be a night game in November. That's losable. Then another bye week at Florida State. Miami at home. Miami doesn't.
I like the second half
at UVA.
I do like the second half. I think the first half is really hard though.
I think I just walked into a 10-win season. Give me the over, Sean. Conservatively, I got to 10, maybe 9.
So this is interesting because Kramer is not really enthusiastic about this Virginia Tech team, which makes me want to consider taking them because
so many winnable games.
The schedule is very easy for them. But I don't believe in Brent Pry as a coach. I'm sorry, Kramer. I don't. That's real sticking point.
But they have a lot of easy games. He might not have to do too much coaching.
Yeah, that's true. But Colby, what are you doing?
I'm on the under 6-6.
Colby takes the under every year on Virginia Tech.
Look, tell me who they're better than. What roster? So we know South Carolina and Vanderbilt's roster is better, right? At NC State, I think NC State's like 3 points better, right?
So they're catching 9.5 points for South Carolina. That's the only spread we have.
So look, I think Old Dominion, Wofford, Wake Forest should be wins. You're capable of beating NC State, but also that is at NC State, so I would favor NC State.
They have fared well in that building.
You're definitely losing at Georgia Tech. There's a bye week. You're home against Cal. I give that as another win, so that puts you at 4. Louisville is better than you.
Yeah.
So I will put that as a loss.
Okay.
Right?
I'll be okay with that.
Then there's a bye week at Florida State.
It's going to be tough.
I'll say between Florida State and Miami, there's one loss there.
Virginia Tech has done well.
6-6. I'll give you the Virginia game.
Where'd you get 6 wins?
Ready? Old Dominion, Wofford, Wake Forest, Cal. That's 4. And I'll even give you 2 of the final 3 between Florida State, Miami.
Here's a trivia question. How many times in the last 5 years has Georgia Tech beaten Virginia Tech at home?
Well, wait
0.
a second. That's unfair. At
0.
home, it's in Bobby Dodd.
What? I know.
Oh, Well,
Georgia Tech at home 0.
That's when they had Jeff Collins.
Yeah,
0.
Remember Jeff Collins.
We should move along. This isn't going to go anywhere.
6-6.
No one wants to hear any of this nonsense.
6-6.
All right, let's move along to Wake Forest. Last team on the docket. Oh, look at Colby sneaking stuff in. Again, really got basic with the logos in the ACC.
Well, actually, Wake doesn't offer much.
For this guy, what is this guy up to? He looks like someone who's been doing too much drugs and is chewing too hard. 4-8 after a 4-8 season in 2023. So right where they're supposed to be. 4.5's the total this year. -140 to the over, +114 to the under. 260 to 1 or 40 to 1 to win the conference. 65 to 1 to make the playoff. 1,000 to 1. Another 1,000 to 1 shot to win the national championship. Colby was not high on Wake. Colby's
I like Dave Clawson. I think he's great.
This guy looks like the logo looks like a crackhead.
Yeah, something.
Look at the teeth
and look at those pupils. Like, my God.
Look, they're kind of. I mean, they brought in Robbie Ashford, the backup quarterback from Auburn. They bring in a lot of the Washington State team because they hired
Jake Dicker.
Yeah, from Wazoo. Interesting to leave Wazoo for Wake Forest. I'm a bit surprised that anybody would do that.
Because
I think Wazoo's a better job than Wake Forest. You're a state institution. Like Wake Forest enrollment's very little. And
private school in a conference with a good
and in a conference where you don't know that you're going to be in that conference much longer.
Yeah, you are the doormat. Better to be the doormat or in a conference of two teams.
Wazoo still has like Drew Bledsoe, who's like a super millionaire, donating money and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like Wake Forest. I was a bit baffled.
Private school.
I know
they can write checks.
I think he's originally an East Coaster, so I think that's the only benefit I'll say. Not very, but here's the thing: Dave Clawson, I think, was an incredible coach. So I don't think they're going to be pretty good. I don't think they're going to be good without him. Like maybe not. Maybe down the road, but year one,
their schedule is favorable. They avoid a lot of the big dogs in the ACC.
They should watch out for week 2, though.
Let's walk through it because I feel like I need one of these bottom feeders to surprise some
They
people.
will beat Kennesaw State. I think they're breaking in a brand new head coach. But week 2, did you guys watch opening night last season? Remember I was just referring to this. Why I was high on Pitt. Cade Bell is the son of Kerwin Bell, is the head coach of Western Carolina. Western Carolina had NC State on the ropes, lost by like 3, I think it was. They're gonna They're better than Wake Forest, dude. Like,
Sean, we gotta start tallying how many FCS wins Colby. Colby gives.
I'm telling you, watch out here, especially catching Wake Forest in this transitional period. It's a dangerous game.
And then you get the Pussy Pack at home at night.
Yeah, I think this is actually a decent start for a new head coach. 3 home games, very winnable games.
2-1
going into a bye.
I think they're 2-1, but watch out for those catamounts.
Then you got a bye week. Then it's Georgia Tech at Virginia Tech at Oregon State. Why would you do that?
It's a tough travel spot.
That's a very. I mean, those are 2 tough places to get to. If you know what I mean. You're going plane and bus.
So I got them 2-4 going into the second bye week.
Yeah, like they go 0-3 there, right? Yeah. The wheels fall off. Bye week.
That's
SMU,
why they better get that Western Carolina game
at Florida State, at Virginia, another back-to-back road spot. North Carolina, Delaware.
They got Delaware.
Good thing they snuck.
I think Delaware's better than them, dude.
Isn't Delaware? Are they in the FCS now?
Yeah, this is year 1, and they've been in FCS power for a long time.
At Duke. Even if they win their first 3 games, Sean.
Yeah.
I have a hard time finding 2 wins.
I'm taking the over. One of these bottom feeders is going to pop their head up.
They could be Virginia. I guess.
I think they could start out 3-0 and get 2 more after that.
And then what's the site? So they get Delaware and who?
Blue Hen, and they get Delaware and they get a surprise win. I think they'll be 5-7.
How many overs do I have?
The juice is telling you to take the over here.
I'll take the over only because I have a tremendous amount of unders.
Colby, are you on the under?
Definitely.
Okay, Colby.
I actually think there's a chance 1-11 is on the table here. I do.
Well, my concern is that they're like when they start losing.
9 teams in this episode. Colby had 1 over. But it's weird how.
Wait, who did I have on the over? Louisville?
Pitt.
Pitt,
Like
yeah.
Pitt over.
Like the Pitt over.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Wake Forest under. What am I doing?
Okay.
I don't need to pander to the people who don't like my unders.
I think there's going to be a one bottom feeder pops his head up. I'm going with Wake Forest. 2 locks in a future. Kramer, what do you got? Don't lock up Virginia Tech. You don't need that heartache.
Not going to. Don't worry. We're gonna go. Ooh, so many good unders to pick from. Let's lock up the North Carolina under. That will be a dumpster fire. And let's lock up the Pittsburgh over.
Pittsburgh over 6.5. UNC under 7.5. And what is your future, Ryan?
You know, let's I think Colby mentioned this. Should we sprinkle the Pitt conference play?
Ooh,
I like it.
Pitt ACC 39-1.
What's the appropriate number of ACC conference champions you can bet on? It's not quite as fun as the Big 12.
Well, Clemson is so yeah. I think,
but there's a path with having 17 teams where Clemson loses out on the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
What you do is you have that just like last year. You have not just like last year. But you have a team that goes like undefeated or 1 loss. Then you have like 4 3-loss teams.
The 4-team tiebreaker. All right, for me, let's see. Oh, Syracuse. They're getting over 5.5. Pitt. Yeah. We're gonna go Pitt over 6.5. And we're gonna go I'm a gambler. Give me UNC to win the ACC at 45-1. Championship pedigree. Jordan and Bill get it. They get to the big day.
The schedule's nice. Schedule's nice. We should take a shot on it.
Colby, what are you doing? 2 locks in the future.
Stanford under 3.5. That's easy money.
Okay.
I dare you to play UVA.
I'm gonna play Pitt over. No, I was thinking about Wake under, but I'm gonna go Pitt over 6.5 as the second one. And for the future, this is where you're saying you dare me to take UVA, huh? No, I'm gonna stick to my Pitt play.
Pitt. I do also like Pitt. I think that'd be fun to have a little bit of both. Pitt to win the ACC 39-1. Thank you everyone for tuning in. As always, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Toss us a nice rating and review. That always helps. Apple Podcasts, 5 stars on Spotify. Appreciate you telling a friend. Get them in the DGen only army.
You know I'm a degenerate.
And we're breaking down all the college football conference futures. And Colby, college football experience, team previews. Make sure you get those as well. And of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
What the hell is a Wahoo anyway, Sean?
Kramer, let it ride.
I'm wet.